Okay, in today's video we're going to talk about thermostats and where they are located and what they do. If you got a thermostat that's stuck open, it's going to take a while for your car to warm up, especially in the wintertime. If you're not getting very little heat, you're not warming your car up, your thermostat might be stuck open, or you might not even have one in it. A lot of guys that has a problem with their car overheating, they'll pull the thermostat plumb out and let it circulate. That's probably not a good idea. There's probably another problem there. So if you got one that's stuck shut, then your car's probably going to overheat. Yeah, I had that little Ford minivan, and I started getting a thermostat would stick in it once in a while, and you see that temperature gauge go way up, and then it'd come down. You had to really keep an eye on it until I got it swapped out. I ain't had no problem with it since. And that was a fun job. I didn't record that project. But I want to tell you a story about this car back when I was visiting my grandmother in Oklahoma City. The fan motors went out on the radiator. It had like 2 fan motors on there, or it could have had one, I don't remember exactly. Anyway, the fan motors went out. So it was okay on the highway, no problem whatsoever. When you get into stop and go traffic, you see that temperature come up. Now, some people know this and some people don't. If you have that kind of situation where you don't have a fan on your radiator, it sounds crazy, but you turn off your air conditioner and turn your heater up full blast. Your heater is in the first loop of your cooling system. Your secondary loop is through your radiator. So that will really help cool your car. It may not bring it down too much, but it'll keep it from overheating your car where you're basically stranded. That's when it starts really, that's when you start losing coolant. So that's what I did with this car. I was in stop and go traffic, and I even had to pull over doing that. Probably, I would say 90, 95 degree heat. Turn off your air conditioner, turn on your heater full blast, and talk about hot. That's what you got to do in order to get where you're going. And I was about 250 miles away, and I don't remember if I fixed it there in the city or waited till I got home. That was clear back many years ago. But anyway, that's something good to think about if you're ever in that situation, is your fan stops working, then turn on your heater full blast, and then once you get back on the highway, you can do the reverse and turn your air conditioner back on, because you get plenty of ventilation through there. You'll be fine till you get back in the city area. This is the housing for the fits in. I think it goes from 2010 to 2015. That's the housing for the thermostat. And I wanted to tell you this story before we got over here on the big screen, but we'll go over to that here pretty quick. And I'll show you the thermostat locations. Tell you what, when it comes to thermostat locations, you want a V8. I'm telling you, so much easier to work on. So let's go over here to the big screen, and we'll check it out. Okay, here's your V8 Camaro engine. Could be L99, LS3. But here's your thermostat location right here. Just left of your pulleys here. Thermostat location right there. And that is so much easier to work on. 2 bolts there, kind of like the old Chevys is up on top. I mean, you can't get any easier than that. But that right there, yeah, you might have some other stuff in the way, but that's pretty easy compared to the V6. I'm telling you what, V6, that's going to be a nightmare if I ever have to do that job. But if your thermostat starts creeping up in temperature, then you probably got a problem with your thermostat. But that is your location for the V8 engines right there. Here's another side shot. It's right here. Your exhaust manifold here. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get to. Okay, on the V6 engines, you would think it would be right in here. You'd think you'd have two bolts right in behind here. Thermostat be located right there. This is according to the intake manifold. This is the LLT engine, V6 3.6, and your thermostat is in the back. We'll go to that next. Right here's the back of the engine. Here's your flywheel for your starter. Your thermostat location is right here. Isn't that crazy? Got a line that goes around. Your heater hose connections are right in here. This is really oxidized looking. That's your thermostat location in the back. So you're gonna have to, your firewall's right here. So I mean, you're not gonna have that much room. Okay, here's a side shot of it. I mean, your firewall's right here. And here's your line right here. This is the line that comes in right up through here to your thermostat housing. Why they couldn't have put it up front, I don't know. That would be so hard to get to. I've got one of these engines. I've got one of these engines right next to me here. And I don't know if the thermostat's ever been changed in that engine. It's got 151,000 miles on it. So it's hard telling. It's a whole lot cleaner than this one, but I imagine they took pretty good care of it. Okay, this is another shot. That's a lot better shot right here. It's kind of a grainy looking picture, but here's your heater hoses here. And you split the case right here. So you basically got to take it apart. But this is your line going over here to your water pump. Yeah, it's a crazy design on that. I just hope I never have to. That's a lot clearer picture. Here's your line right here coming in for the water pump. Splits right here. You got like you got another line there. Goes into the engine. Well, what a mess. If you ever want to know where parts locations are on your engine, just do like I did here. Just get on eBay, find an engine like you're gonna buy it, and just look at the pictures where parts are located at. It's a good way to find where stuff is located at. This is that metal plate. You got to take off them two bolts. Them two bolts right there are so hard to get to. We just had a video on that when we was painting the intake manifold. I had to stop the camera and I wrenched them back in. Not a socket, but a wrench. One little turn at a time. Yeah, that was fun. But imagine working on this down here where you can't even see it. I should have showed you that when I had the intake manifold off. I wish I would have and had, well, this was still in the way though, but it'd been nice to put a camera down in there and show you where the thermostat location is. Okay, here's a big blowed up version of it. It splits right here. Thermostat's in between these two pieces. All these bolts that bolts onto your engine. Let's see, I believe these pieces are, I believe they're less than $50, so that's not too bad. I think I've seen some of them $78, but they're not too bad if you need to buy the whole part. So if you're ever swapping engines, if you have an engine go bad, whatever you do, you got to change that thermostat. I don't care if it's another $15, but you'll have the peace of mind knowing that you don't have to worry about that. And sure as you don't change it, a month later, your car start getting hot, you'll have to change it. So it's a good idea if you're swapping engines to get that thermostat swapped out. Yeah, don't forget to do that. It won't take very long at all right here, compared to if you're doing it in the car. So if you want a V8 engine that's easy to work on, your thermostat location, then this would be a lot easier to work on than the V6. So okay, I'm sweating down here. It's hot again out here, so if you got any questions, comment down below. And if I don't know the answer, then I'll find it. You got different ranges in your temperature on your thermostat. You got cooler temperatures, 160, you got 190. It just depends on what you want to run. Okay, here's the intake manifold on the 2008 Cadillac. A little dusty, but in order to get back in here, that's crazy, isn't it? In order to get way back in there, so yeah, you might as well plan on taking off the cowling there, possibly the intake manifold, just to get back here to the back. Just to get back here in the back. You can't even reach your hand back there. Okay, here's that metal plate that bolts up here. Then bolts it's hard to get to. And keep in mind, it's in behind that. It's in behind this plate. My word. How in the world would you ever change that? You have to pull the cowling off. Intake manifold, just to name a few. Just to even begin to get in there. So anyway, crazy design. Okay, all this has to be done on the top side. You can't do it from up underneath. Well, you might be able to, but this shows from the top side, and you got to take the cowling off. He's got the intake manifold off. He got it tore down pretty good. I'll put it to the credits from this guy's video right here. Okay, I guess that's going to do this video. Thanks for watching.